All right, this is just a very, very simple version of a really classic fly. The pheasant tail. Super effective fly, and this is going to be a really easy version because we all know that that one has quite a few steps to it. So all I'm doing is starting with a nymph hook. Just pick your favorite, and it won't matter a whole lot. And I'm using a tungsten slotted bead. Okay, so I've just got my thread started. Really simple. I'm just using light gray. You can use whatever color you want because you're not going to really see much of the thread anyway. All right, for the tail, this is just natural pheasant tail. And this is a size 12 hook. And so I'm going to use 5 strands of this pheasant tail. We'll just get the right length, what we want for the tail. Hold it in place. And lock that down. And we're going to use gold. This is, I believe, size medium gold wire. Brassy and hot yellow. And I'm going to fold this. This is just a little trick. I like to fold this pheasant tail back and capture it again. Kind of keeps it out of the way just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring my thread back about to the midway point. I'm just going to put one more layer of thread back down here. So I want this thing to be a little slender. And we all know that pheasant tail is super brittle, and so I take a little bit of super glue, put it right on the thread base, just under where the pheasant tail is going to be. Now I'm just going to wrap the pheasant tail forward. And proportions are kind of important on this fly, but not super critical that they're down to the millimeter. But you want to make sure that you've got enough for your next segment here for the thorax. Okay. Now we're just gonna wrap. Oh, look at that. Our friend, the pheasant tail. That's one of the reasons why I use 4. Because, oops, going the wrong direction. Because a lot of times you'll break one and you can lock them back down still and be in good shape. So that's the gold rib. Got a little stray on the bottom. All right, we're gonna do a flashback for this particular fly. You don't have to do a flashback. I have several different variations of this fly. This one is just using sparkle braid for the flashback. This one's just using regular old wool yarn. You can see that. And on some, like I said, I don't use any flash, and I just put a small fluorescent hotspot. So anyway, that's up to you. For this one, I am going to put a little flash on there. This is just going to be a little more of this green sparkle, the green sparkle braid. You don't need much. This is probably enough for 2 flies. I'm just going to capture it with a loop like this. Make sure that it ends up right on the top. Capture with a couple of wraps. And then this little trick, I like to pull one toward away from me, and then one toward me, and then lock them down again. That way when I pull it forward, I've got two, you can see right there, I've got 2 strands wide for my little flash for the back. All right, for the thorax, I just got eye stub in a peacock color. This is where I eliminate using peacock curl, which is another flimsy material that is kind of a pain to work with. Looks really good. This stuff looks really good too, and I don't have to worry about the peacock curl. And with this, I like to wrap this nice and tight, so I give that dubbing noodle a little tug here to tighten it up, and then spin it again back here, and that helps to keep that nice and tight. Okay, and you can clean up some of these little stragglers. It can be a little buggy, but especially when you're trying to fish these guys deep, the faster you can get them down, the better. Which means the more slender, the better, and the heavier, the better. So tungsten bead, slender body. You get the idea. Now with the sparkle braid, I'm going to pull that forward, and then capture it with my nail here. And then give it one wrap. Make sure it's kind of where you want it to be. If it doesn't look quite right, just move it off to one side if you need to. So it's nice and centered right on the back, like a wing case. Then a couple of wraps on top and a few right in the front. Then you can clean it up. And then whip finish. Now this is a really cool fly because you can finish it right there with a simple whip. Or if you're feeling really crazy, put a little hot spot on there with some fluorescent red or orange. Piece of cake. And that's just a really simple version of a really classic fly. Really effective. Fish like it. Fish it without the hot spot or with it. Change up the colors. I've done it in the orange or the green. Works well either way. All right, enjoy.